Hello grade 11s. Today we are looking at 111, page 111 in my workbook, and another drawing where they have given us a roller bearing. This time though we also have to calculate the displacement graph. I'm going to start by drawing this given roller and camshaft, and then remembering to take from the center, that would be the lowest point of our, the lowest point of the displacement graph. So let's draw this in. Circle stencil, if you've got it, will be convenient. There is the given information that I've redrawn. My camshaft that has a diameter of 20, I've hatched that. I've put in the direction of rotation. I've drawn my roller follower, and I've projected that center line across, which is the lowest point for my displacement graph. Now let's go about drawing the graph. What information do they give us about the graph? They say use a horizontal scale of 30 degrees equals 8 millimeters. So we need 12 measurements of 8, means we need an overall distance of 96. So just to make sure I'm not going to crash into that, I'll start relatively close to where my printing is and mark off my distance of 96. And divide that up into my equal measurements of 8 millimeters. So remember the basics of our displacement graph. It must have a label, must be printed, the divisions, your scale at the bottom, and your vertical scale. Marks are awarded for those aspects. Please remember to do them. Now if we look at what is said about the uniform motion, so we know uniform motion is the straight line joining the points. 0 to 60, the follower rises 15, 60 to 90, a dwell period. 90 to 165, now that's a funny number, it's not a round number, which means 165 is in between 150 and 180, and that measurement would be 15 degrees different. So obviously at 165 we need to measure half of the 8. So I'm going to just put that in. To find 165, I'll measure 4 millimeters. That's giving us our 165. Then I see a 195. So that's going to be 15 degrees away from 180. So again, I'm just going to put that, divide my measurement of 8 in half to give me my 195 measurement. And the rest seem fine. Let's complete that now. So at 60 we need to measure up a distance of 15. Join up the line. Then there's a dwell period to 90. Then it goes up another 35. So in total 35 plus 15 gives me my height of 50. So at 165 I'm going to measure a height of 50. Then there's a dwell period to 195. Then it falls 35. So that's the 35 here. and that's to 330. And then from 330 to 360 back to the original position, which is this point here. And there is our displacement graph. I'm now going to take my heights across to my vertical center line, mark them off. There I have projected up to my maximum height and mark those heights off. Now I'm going to put in my pizza slices and label those and then transfer my measurements. I've put in some of my pizza slices. Let's remember our labeling must be opposite to the direction. So 0, 30 is going in the opposite direction. Now we need to have extra splits in here, so we need to find a 165 and a 195, which we're going to need our 45-degree set square and attach that to our 30-degree set square. There I've got my 45-degree and 30 degree set square together, and that's going to give me this 15-degree angle that I need on that side. Flip them around, and now I'm going to put in my 15-degree angle on this side and just label them. So there's my 165 and there's my 195. Now I'm going to transfer my height measurements across. There was my 30, 60, here's 120, 150, now at 165, remember this is a dwell period, so 165 to 195, I'm going to draw in with an arc. See, here's my compass slips. And I actually need to go back and do the same thing for 60, because between 60 and 90 was also a dwell period. So get that arc again, and we'll draw that arc in. Now, the important thing to remember is that those points, we now need to put in a semicircle so that we can find what the roller is going to look like there. I've set my compass to the radius of 7 for my roller, size of diameter 14, and I'm just going to put in a little semicircle at each of those points. Remember, when we draw this, it's not going to always be exactly where the point of this arc hits where the point will be. It's going to be a tangent along the shape. So there I'm up to 195. I'm now going to come back to my displacement graph and project my remaining points across to my vertical center line. Remember, there's my 270 point. Maybe you want to make it out here on the side so it's a little bit easier to follow the points. It's really up to you what might work best for you, and whichever method is going to help you get that correct. I'm now going to take my compass and project those points around. There's point 330. There's 300. 270. 240. 210. I'm now going to set my compass to the radius of my roller and draw the semicircles. There is my semicircles. I'm drawing radius of 7. And there we go. Now remember to join up the inside edges on a tangent. As I've said before, just be aware that it might not hit at the exact intersection of the semicircle and your pizza slice. That point wasn't great, but there is completed drawing of page 111.